It is Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for the All Effin' Wrestling Show. What's on the show today, JFB?
We got jokes, we got news, and we're doing the roundest of the round tables, if you will. So round, it's so perfectly round.
Mine's triangle.
Triangle. It's a circle.
We're secretly the Illuminati. That's why it's a triangle.
We don't talk about the Illuminati. All right. All that and more on this week's edition of the All Effin' Wrestling Show. Hit it!
Coming to you live from the FN Worldwide Media Studios, located in parts unknown.
It's the All Effin' Wrestling Show.
With your hosts, Canada Dry, and the JFB.
Tell me how it's priced. Tell me if the item is for sale. And tell me.
Holy crisscross applesauce. Welcome to this week's edition of the All Effin' Wrestling Show. God, it feels like it's been forever since I've been on here. I'm back, baby. Back again. I am, of course, the man with the stroke. I am the JFB, James from Boston.
And I am, of course, the patron saint of all of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. My name is Canada Dry.
I love it. That always hits me right in the heart. We have a round table. Alex Haney has a question about the round table, but before we get to him, let's introduce the two gents that we got. We got, of course, the effing Golden Graham, GM Joe. Say hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is your time. Hope you all having a great day. Hope you've been watching some football or starting to watch some football.
Oh, yeah.
But appreciate you joining us for this show.
Now, Luke has quite the way of introducing himself, so go ahead, Luke.
Hi, I'm Luke, wrestling jobber. That's my intro.
All
You're
right.
just Jobber.
Oh, you want an introduction? Oh, you want an introduction, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is the guy. This is the man, the wrestling gentleman of all the wrestling podcasts. It is Luke Anthony World. Bada boom.
Bang.
We are not worthy. We are not worthy.
Is that what you
Oh, my
wanted?
God.
Is that what you
That's
wanted?
what I wanted. Thank
That's
you.
what we want. He brought the heat. Oh, my God. We're joined by Nama Burns. He says, oh.
I don't receive Nama Burns. I receive Gran Torino's comments.
That is Gran Torino. Alex Haney decides, if it's round, why is only four of you?
I can answer that question.
Answer
And
it.
it's a little bit of a story. For one, we're a wrestling show,
Yeah.
and there's this thing, it's called the squared circle.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, like, I never understood what that meant until I was like maybe 16 and I was watching WCW and I realized they have their ring on like a circular platform. It took me a long time to figure that out.
Oh, man. Nah. Gran Torino says, well done. Alex Haney says, A.
Hey,
We're just throwing letters out.
is he Canadian
randomly.
now? Eh?
He's A. Alex Haney, volunteer Newfoundlander. He is from Canada. And, of course, Gran Torino says it's a circle. It's always a circle. So let's get to Well, let's get to the reasons why we're here. First thing up, of course, is we have to go to the news. From the four corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB. Oh my God, he's back! I'm
back, baby.
Real quick, guys, you got to cut JFB some slack. He's been out of practice.
I've
Okay.
been out of practice.
You know what they say? Practice makes perfect. I don't really know what that means.
So, enlightened one, will you grace us, of course, with the strange fact of the day?
Okay, so check it out. I got my new Batman mug after my other one broke.
Yeah.
So check this out.
Oh, that's
Got a
nice.
spinner.
I like it. He's like the John Cena of podcasting.
Yeah. So, I thought I had a cigarette around here somewhere. Oh, well. So, I was doing some... Hold on. Oh, yeah. All right, so I was doing some scientific research earlier this week.
Uh-huh.
Did you know that a cockroach can live for a week without a head?
No.
Oh, what?
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's great.
The
It's
cockroach.
tasty, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, this strange facts of the day is brought to you, of course, by none other than FTW Wrestling. That's right. You want to learn how to be a pro wrestler. You want to learn how to cut promos. You want to learn how to take bumps. You want to learn the general craft of being a sports entertainer. Then you go to this little place outside of Tampa Bay. It's called FTW Pro Wrestling. Fight the World Pro Wrestling. You can learn from Brian Idol. You can learn from Natalia Markova, who, by the way, looks really good in one of our shirts, by the way. Just so I throw that out there.
Just randomly.
That's
Won't be
random.
the last
Did I
time you
miss the
see it.
enlightened one again? Did I miss him again? Dang.
You did. Every time you come back, he's already gone. Like
It's like we're just missing each other in the hallway.
FTWProWrestling.com. That's where you can go. $250 a month. You can learn how to be a professional wrestler. Get trained by NWA professional wrestlers. Learn the craft. FTWProWrestling.com.
And you know what they're really good at teaching you?
What's that?
How to take bumps.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like Natalia Markova
you'd
and
think
Brian
so. That's-
Idol.
Taking bumps is almost lesson one of doing it. Obviously, to get yourself in physical condition, but to take a, I mean, come on.
Yeah, like some wrestlers don't do bumps as well as others. Like you got to be able to sell your bumps.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So go to FTWProWrestling.com, sign up, start taking classes, be a professional wrestler. Who knows? You could be, of course, the next Orange Cassidy. Just saying. All right, so let's get to the news. Matt Riddle. Kind of wondering what's been going on with Matt Riddle. Apparently he was pulled over the other day and sexually assaulted by a cop.
What was it? A cop or like a TSA agent?
I think it was just a cop. Was it not, Canada Dre?
Yeah, he was saying that he was at the airport and the cop was feeling him up, and he said he felt sexually assaulted.
Yeah. I mean,
well, could we hear more about this later on?
We possibly could, yes. So Hacksaw Jim Duggan is back in the hospital. He had emergency surgery. They're not saying exactly why he went back to the hospital. They're keeping it very quiet, but his wife went on social media. So we want to give a shout out to Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh! Speedy recovery, you son of a bitch.
Well, real quick, his wife tweeted out that he is doing good, that everything went well.
Awesome.
So,
okay.
We can't lose anybody else.
No.
Yeah.
This has been a rough year. Red Velvet's about to return back to AEW from injury. And also, Thunder Rosa is also getting closer to making her in-ring return with AEW. I'm really excited. I'm really excited for Red Velvet. I'm getting more excited about Thunder Rosa as long as she's not hawking Taco
Okay,
Tuesday.
wait. Thunder Rosa is a bit of a problem in the dressing room a little bit, but
Yeah.
she's a hell of a wrestler.
Yeah.
Red Velvet, no,
No?
she's not a good wrestler.
Gentlemen, I put this to you. Where do you put them in the deck? We've seen that since the first episode of Dynamite, that the AEW women's roster can have all the women in the world and still not be able to book them properly, put them effectively in positions where they're getting enough screen time and getting enough minutes in their matches. Yeah. And even what we saw in All in Wembley when I was there. But only one match on the card, and even that felt clunky. And it's like what we're seeing with Toni Storm is great, but you can't keep relying on Saraya and Britt Baker and Jade Cargill. Like, there's only a handful you're relying on, and you just feel that more needs to be done.
So what I would do with Red Velvet, she can go ROH, learn to wrestle better.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Thunder Rosa, put her on Collision.
Yeah,
I think Thunder Rosa should go to the TBS division. It would really help out.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, speaking of people returning, for those who watched Collision last night, the JFB has a beautiful, fond love for a woman named Jade. That's right, Jade Cargill is back. She took out the two jobbers that were taking on Chris Statlander. Thought maybe Jade's going to be a face. She's going to stand next to the TBS champion. Oh, no. She knocked the living hell out of her, knocked her to the ground, kissed the belt. She's back, and she wants her title back. Oh, Canada Dry, tell me how much you love Jade Cargill.
That's my girl against your girl.
Yeah.
Statlander's my favorite in AEW.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want Jade Cargill to repossess the TBS championship. She needs to put over Statlander, and she needs to move on to something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just made the point. Again, you can't put her in another Goldberg-esque reign and have her be undefeated for another 60, 65, 70 wins in a row, because that'd be the worst thing you could do right now.
Yeah.
What I would like is someone costs Jade the match, and she feuds with them, and then goes for the world title.
I like that idea. Jim, Joe, your thoughts really quick.
In the words of Cody, like, she needs some adversity.
Yeah.
Like, she needs a story, because her whole, other than her undefeated streak, she's not had a story or a real legit sustained anything. Like, and I don't want to see her go right back for the title.
Yeah.
There's enough women on this roster to where, like Luke said, we shouldn't be relying on the same three people over and over and over again.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. Nude is in the house. What's up, Nude? Here's the thing. Jade is fantastic. That comes directly from Gran Torino, and then showers Canada Dry with the greatest compliment. Great idea, Canada Dry. And then, of course, there's Alex Haney. Did you know during World War II, a young Hulk Hogan joined the military under a secret identity and single-handedly defeated a battalion of enemy soldiers with a leg drop, turning the tide of the war?
Was that alias Captain America?
Hulk Hogan said it's true. It has to be, right?
We have done an episode. Go back to the archives. The top lies of Hulk Hogan. That right there could have been number one, because it was such
that was a 24-hour stream, right? You could have gone on all day.
We could guess that was a fun episode.
That was a great episode.
So my question is, was that secret identity Captain America?
Yeah. Well, he wore the mask? Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
So Impact is doing, of course, their Hall of Fame. I do have a Hall of Fame question for you guys in the roundtable, but 2 names stuck out. Our dear friend Don West, who, if you don't know, passed away earlier this year. He's going to the Hall of Fame, and probably one of the most underrated, unsung heroes of the commentary. He was in WCW. Mike Tenay. Mike Tenay is going to the Hall of Fame. How awesome is that? Oh,
It
I
took
love
how long has it taken them? I mean, like
Also, it's-
they are the foundations of NWA TNA. They built the company up, and they were the sound of the company.
Yeah,
yeah, it's
absolutely.
long overdue.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that Don West isn't around to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah, it sucks. It really does. We love you, Don West. We know you're up
Impact
there.
Hall of Fame. That is the worst Hall of Fame in all of wrestling.
You're not wrong.
You're
I
not
mean,
wrong.
What I would like to see is AEW team up with all the other promotions that are not WWE.
Yeah.
And make their own Hall of Fame that would be a more legit sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can do that, but I want a physical place to be able to go visit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
make it a place.
absolutely. So prior to All In, the word was the Young Bucks were actually willing to work with CM Punk. It's funny that this comes out after CM Punk was fired and not beforehand.
I need to get on a pedestal because look in my eyes. What do you see? You see a cult of personality. I have to speak up about Punk because when I was there in Wembley, when I first got down to Wembley Park's tube station, people were booing Punk even then, and it just surprised me that out of the 80,000 that were packed in the stadium,
Yeah.
2,000 people cheering for Punk, if that. Like, obviously, started singing along to Living Colour, fair enough. But I just didn't get it. And obviously, that was way before everything else kicked off, and then CM Punk ruined it for himself. But it was just fascinating how that went down, and how Jack Perry made a tit of himself, and as it currently stands, where Jack Perry remains suspended, and both Ace Steel and CM Punk are no longer part of AEW, and you could argue both kiss goodbye to their pro wrestling careers, at least for another 10 years, if that. Yeah. It's one of those situations where, because it is so clear cut, because it is so black and white compared to Brawl Out, it's beyond words,
Yeah. Let's talk contract. Oh, go ahead, Canada Dry.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that there was supposed to be a meeting that was allegedly supposed to happen, but the CM Punk was going for the meeting, but Young Bucks and Kenny Omega said we're not having this meeting until after 6 months. If he shows good behavior, then we'll meet.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't make it 6 months. That's for damn sure. Let's talk contracts really quickly, and then we'll get into our joke of the week. Drew McIntyre. We've been talking about Drew for quite a while. Drew's talked, there's a lot of speculation. Drew's not going to get extended a contract through WWE. Drew came out publicly and said that he does not want to go anywhere else. Now, the WWE's got one other interesting contract up for grabs, and that's LA Knight. There is talk of LA Knight and WWE. Yeah. Are in talks for an extended length, long-term contract. I would love to see LA Knight, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, former guy who just wrestled everywhere. I love seeing the young, well, he's not young anymore, but I like seeing that scrappy MFer finally get a shot at the big time. So let's get into the joke of the week.
Well, let's but what about let's talk a bit about Drew McIntyre there.
Yeah.
So obviously he's saying that.
Yeah.
But if they're not offering him what he wants, he's not going to have no shame in signing with New Japan or AEW.
Nope.
Well, I think most of the contract talks were on hold until after this merger is done, which should be done on Tuesday.
Yeah.
I imagine after Tuesday we will get a flood of information from WWE.
Yeah.
And the
contracts
thing
and stuff.
is that again, when he came back at Money in the Bank, I was there too. Is that yes, he had that feud with Gunther, and 80% of us knew that Gunther wasn't going to lose, but what do you do with Drew McIntyre now? He's had the run. He obviously had the clash match with Roman Reigns in Cardiff, and he's had the moments. And whilst we can forecast that we're going to be seeing a UK pay-per-view once a year, especially now All In's coming back, which will be back then. Sorry, there should be a counter for every UK wrestling mic drops, and it should be in my corner every week. Please sign me. But Drew McIntyre, you can't keep using him if a UK show comes around every year, and then that'll be his annual.
Well, they got 2 world titles. Why can't he have one of them once in a while?
I agree. I mean, let's face it, Seth Rollins, that man is not built for a long-term run. Not with his body and the abuse that he takes on a daily basis.
Who they putting that title on next?
I truly think that it's going to be Shinsuke Nakamura. I think Nakamura takes it from him.
No, you know what I want? Since it's been reported that LA Knight has already signed his contract extension, so he's going to get this big push.
Yeah.
I think it's been and gone.
What was that?
I think his push has either been and gone or he wins the Rumble.
Yeah.
Because I
think they should
turn if you could have put the electricity in a bottle at the O2 for the amount of people that are pushing for him to win the briefcase, and just the balloon being popped when Damian Priest won it.
Well, no, you got Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns still.
Yeah.
So you give the other title to LA Knight.
Yeah.
Well, see, what you do is you just turn Seth Rollins heel, have LA Knight be the big baby face that comes over and wins.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Would you not love a heel Seth Rollins going against LA Knight? That would be pretty good.
That would be awesome. Oh, woo! I'm getting shivers. Let's get the joke of the week really quickly. We do have a resident comedian that exists within the effing universe. He goes by the name of the Perfection King, Rich Southland. Here is our joke of the week.
Hey, this is Bret the Hitman Hart. Every day, people are mocked because they feel that dad jokes are the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. That's messed up. I believe that no one should have to fight for their humor. It's okay to dad joke.
Hello, one and all. It is your Perfection King, Lord Rich Southwood here with your official joke of the week. What do you call a pig that practices karate? A pork chop! Thanks, guys. Happy first day of the NFL Sunday season to you. We'll see y'all next week.
Oh, God. Rich.
He's got some good dad jokes.
He's got amazing good dad jokes. Now we have to get into the meat and potatoes. We have to get into the mutton, if you will, of our show. It is a main event.
Gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Much like our logo, it's round. Much like this episode, it's also round. Roundtable time. I'm the JFB. I am your host with the most. And I got questions. And I need answers. And I have a collection. The Infinity Gauntlet. The Infinity Stones, if you will, of wrestling knowledge. My first question to the three of you guys is this.
Do we still have a caller backstage or are they gone?
Oh, we do have a caller backstage.
Okay.
You want to bring him in?
Ask your question first.
Okay. So the question I pose to you guys is this. Lacey Evans was released a few weeks ago by the WWE. So I'm going to let you be the King of Endeavor the owners of WWE right now, you're allowed to release one male and one female. Who do you release? Let's ask our guest first. Tim Tobin is in the house.
The Pancake Man.
Man, it's Rudy Tooty Fruity. You want pancake?
I want a pancake.
Tim, you're allowed to release one male, one female from WWE. Who's going to be?
I wanna release maybe Pete, maybe Pete Dunne.
Okay.
Pete Dunne, like he got Butch, whatever you want to call him now. Maybe go to Impact or another company where they can prove him well, use him well.
What about the female? Who you gonna release?
Maybe Aaliyah.
Okay.
Aaliyah's like they haven't been using her well. She got caught up to the main roster and then she got disappeared out of nowhere.
All right, thanks, Pancake Man.
Yep, Pancake Man all day. Remember at TDS.
We'll see you, Tim.
Thank you.
You can
Oh, my
never
God.
have him back on. That is a disgraceful disgrace.
Gotta love the Pancake Man.
Canada Dry, you go first. One male, one female. Who do you get rid of?
I am releasing. I gotta agree, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Probably gonna go with someone who's not cutting it in NXT. I don't know. Someone who's maybe lower.
Yeah. Okay. GM Joe, one male, one female. Who do you get rid of?
Okay, the male that I'm cutting is only because I want to see him go back to the Indies or go to AEW. Would be Dominic, whatever his name is, Dominic Dijakovic.
Yeah.
And then women, get rid of Charlotte. Get her out of here.
Oh.
Maybe they'll be forced to actually use some other women better if they got rid of Charlotte.
Oh my
Hot
God.
take.
That's hot take GM Joe right there.
Yeah.
There is no
I'm
doubt
known
about
for him
that.
every once in a while.
Holy cow, let's get rid of Charlotte. Luke Anthony Walsh, it's your turn, my friend. One male, one female. Who do you give the axe to?
I'm racking my brain because I don't want to say a cheap answer and just say someone from NXT because you won't even have heard of them. But like the thing is that what we're going to be seeing with under Endeavor and what we're going to be seeing, and they've said this publicly that they want to push NXT again as the third brand and as something. And you know we've seen even the last few months where the main roster are coming back to NXT and they're really giving these guys the rub and really pushing them. Is that this is going to be a promotion that in 6 months' time we're going to be reminiscing about the glory days of 2016, 2017 and comparing it to now. Yeah. That is what NXT and the potential it has. If I had to give a cheap answer though, I'm going to say Natalia because I think maybe a run elsewhere, as much as been in WWE for years, you know, do something else elsewhere.
Natalia and AEW, wow.
Yeah,
Natalia versus Markova, right? That would be.
I mean,
you get a double Natalia match. That'd be beautiful.
Yeah, Natalia and AAA would be great if she went over to Japan.
Oh yeah,
where they just actually let her wrestle.
I just will actually see what Natalia Neihart can actually do.
Yeah.
Right, like that would be nice
never
to
seen
see.
it.
Instead of farting. And the man, I'm going to say Mustafa Ali.
Yeah.
Because, again, he's somebody I want to see more from. And I know he's pushing the United States of America gimmick, but we all know that Dominic Mysterio has that locked down at the moment. And that's the push. So you don't really see.
I like that answer. And so in that same sort of respect, I'm going to release Ricochet.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Because they're not doing anything with him. Like, why is this guy got a belt?
Sorry. Have you not been watching the entire year and him doing all the flips with Logan Paul?
Yeah, that's
why
about
he's
it.
there.
That's about it.
But
what has he done other than that?
That's why
he had the big battle royal moment with that thing with Logan Paul, and that's it.
I mean, to be fair, like he had this tag team going with Braun, and he got injured.
Yeah.
So that could have went somewhere.
Yeah, that
tag
did
team
go.
was total garbage.
Oh, it was garbage.
and again, I don't know why Tim say blame Pete Dunne. Why, Butch? Why? Why did we get rid of him?
They should have just released Butch and signed back Pete Dunne. Is what they should have done.
It's like people have forgotten what the Bruiserweight was able to do with NXT UK, and I know people can talk about NXT UK and frown upon it, but for what it was worth in the years and the stars it's now given us.
Yeah. So Noob says, for the men, I say Riddle, and for the women, I say Bailey. She should be with Mercedes Moné in New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's a good take. That's a good take. And Gran Torino has a response, which is, dude, Ricochet has fallen far as heck from his days before WWE. I can't disagree with that at all.
And I think that Riddle's stock has really gone down too.
Oh yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah, and this recent thing, I'm sure, is not going to help him in the eyes of upper management at the moment.
Nope. Endeavor.
Dude, I'm sexually molested. Give me a title run.
So I play with my ding dong. I want to get an Intercontinental Championship run. Oh man, I got another question for you guys, and that's this: should AEW have built Collision around CM Punk based on his history of being a very acerbic and self-centered individual? Go the Graham, you go first.
Well, I guess hindsight says no. I mean, I guess in practice it would have made sense.
Yeah.
Because like for the first month or two, like, and even up until a couple weeks ago, like Collision felt dramatically different from Dynamite, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
But then again, like just the issues with Punk and his thinking that he runs the show and that he's the boss, and then the way he acts is a bad thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Mr. Luke Anthony Walsh, your turn.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because people are very quick to forget that 2 years ago it was CM Punk that was launching Rampage.
Yeah.
And again, I talk about having that electric in a bottle, but that second episode of Rampage, that moment when he came out after 7 years, that put Rampage on the map. And when Collision was getting up and running, that put Collision on the map. I think the problem is, and I said this earlier, is that because he's done this to himself.
Yeah.
I think all the right ideas were there to build it around him.
Yeah.
But he screwed it up for himself. I think certainly if you continue, if CM Punk had not screwed up, I think building it around him and building it as and the run with the real world championship had every potential to really be a storyline which eventually could run on all year into Punk MJF.
Yeah,
having that run all over again, and then have that fall into MJF and the Great Bidding War 2024 and so on. And it's such a shame that we'll never get to see that. And especially with, having been there for the last match with Samoa Joe, that was still a fantastic match.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I don't be surprised if we don't see a decline in Collision there.
Yeah. No, we already did. I mean,
as much as Bryan Danielson and all the Lucha stars are now going there because somebody else isn't there now. And we're seeing a variety of wrestling now.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if we don't start to see a decline in Collision.
Yeah. Canada Dry's your turn, my friend.
All right. So I think that the idea behind CM Punk being the face of it is perfectly fine on paper.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel the deck was stacked against Punk when he returned.
Yeah. Because
I feel like the people who hated CM Punk, we're always going to hate CM Punk.
Yeah.
No one said like, all right, guys, we're going to start fresh. I want everyone on their best behavior. Maybe they did say that. They pretty much stuck the finger at Tony Khan. But I feel like the deck was stacked against him. And so, like, when you have a guy like CM Punk, who's not going to take shit from no one, and the deck is stacked against you, you're gonna lash out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Now there's one person whose opinion I'm intrigued to get. He's called in. He's backstage. It's King Haney.
What's up?
What up, early?
Oh,
Mr. Haney.
hail King Haney.
Mr. Haney, what are your thoughts on Collision and CM Punk?
Well, first off, with regards to CM Punk, all I'll just say is, I told you so. I've got shit for 2 years about what was it, saying all this would happen.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think what was it, Collision's got bigger problems. I think it's on the wrong day to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got college football, you've got WWE now doing pay-per-views on a Saturday, and you've got various other promotions doing stuff. It doesn't make sense to me, why they pick Saturday. A bit of a strange one. But
Sunday night might even be better if you don't put pay-per-views there.
You got football Sunday nights. You got
Sunday night football, and it's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question I'm going to pose to all of you is, now that CM Punk is a literal free agent with no restrictions on where he can and cannot go, Canada Dry, where does he end up? Where do you want to see CM Punk end up?
It's not where I wanted to see him end up, but what I think will happen.
Yeah.
I think that we did the switcheroo.
CM Punk just DOS attacked Aaron.
Yeah, CM Punk did that.
They were about to give the game away, Aaron. You knew exactly where he's going.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a Royal Rumble moment and then a WrestleMania moment.
Okay. King Haney, where do you think he ends up?
I think he'll do a tour of Japan and then sort of. I don't think he'll go to WWE, to be honest.
There's, I can't see him going in there and not want to be the top guy, and that's what he thinks he is, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Yeah. But I don't think they'll have any intention of ever making him the top guy, and he knows that, and he's a smart cookie. So, I don't think he'll go to WWE. I think he'll maybe do a little run in New Japan, and then sort of.
But you don't see him doing a one-off with WWE, like just a short run.
A short run. I mean, what would be the point? He's achieved everything. The only thing he hasn't.
Well, you have one last moment in front of a big stage, like.
The only thing he hasn't achieved, and that's this sort of dives into why he sort of left WWE in the first place, is he never got that main event at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at the WWE right now, they've effectively got the next 2 or 3 WrestleMania main events.
Yeah.
There already, you know. So, what was it? He could turn up, but I think he might go to Japan because he's never really done that. He said some tours of Japan, but he's never done anything sort of big. So, and you've got that sort of big what was it match over there for the GTS. So, perfect. The Japanese love an American villain. So, what was it called? So that's where I think he'll end up.
Okay. Golden Graham, GM Joe, where do you see Punk ending up?
I don't know. I don't think it's New Japan because I think New Japan values its relationship with AEW too much, personally. I honestly, I think the only company that can pay him what he wants is WWE.
Yeah.
It's not Impact. It's not the NWA.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes to Mexico, maybe. But I don't think there's, it's funny because he's had this. In 2012, he did that documentary for WWE, and this statement he made is very telling. He's like, I don't burn bridges down. I blow them up while I stand on them. And that's kind of where we're at the moment with him. Like, he is blown up all of his legitimate ways to make money in this business.
Yeah. Mr. Walsh, your turn, my friend.
Sure, I don't see him going anywhere for 5 years, and I think
every promoter, whether it's the US, Mexico, Japan, or the UK or wherever, wouldn't touch him with a barge pole.
Yeah.
Fuck the Ring of Honor.
Yeah, fuck the Ring
Because
of Honor.
fundamentally, you're looking at the toxicity that he's bringing right now.
Yeah.
And as much as he can wrestle, as much as he is talented, and he will always be a draw.
Yeah.
Don't touch him. And one point I wanted to say earlier is that as much as you can buy into the narrative that Punk was being screwed over by AEW when he arrived at Heathrow,
Yeah.
he's still in control of his actions, you know.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it all kicked off in Gorilla in front of Tony Khan, and whatever you want to believe by Tony Khan saying he had a threat to his life.
Yeah.
It's still down to him, and you know he won't be around for a while.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting is that I don't think fans in New Japan don't really boo, do they?
No. Very
So
rare.
he can go there, he's fine.
The other thing, just to touch upon, and there's been a few commentators online, the podcast, even like Jim Cornette, and that said that the statement that Tony made sounded like it came from lawyers as opposed to Tony making that statement.
Yeah.
But I mean, the other thing Punk's done for AEW is, and we'll see it in decline now. I think that whole scenario's killed Chicago for AEW. I think.
Yeah.
It'll be hard for them to come back, and because even when AEW started, there was always that Punk was going to go, Punk was going to turn up. You know, what was it? What was it? So,
but they rang Chicago for 2 years before he came back.
True.
No, but there was the hope that Punk was going to show up.
Yeah, but even throughout, there wasn't necessarily
they
weren't starting CM Punk at every All Out beforehand, and they weren't necessarily. You know, you look back on All Out 2019. I suppose 2020 didn't really exist, but 2019,
the
show that they put on there, you know, it wasn't a CM Punk taking over show.
But even if you watch, you go back and watch like sort of BTE, and even like Punk was making little teasers as well. Whether it was going to happen or not at that point, I don't know. But they were sort of guessing at it, you know. They were sort of hinting at it. But was it? I think Chicago built itself on the fact that they thought Punk was coming in.
Yeah,
you know, but was and I have to say, if you've not seen the sort of the fan footage of like what was it, Tony out in front of the crowd that's sort of not on television.
Yeah,
and speaking to the crowd, it's heartbreaking. You can tell the man's heart's the heart's breaking at the whole scenario. You know, he's in such a difficult situation.
Yeah.
I think if had he not sat down in the chair and he not sat down on the stage cross-legged, I think that would have killed that. Everyone would have started walking out.
Yeah,
that was such a. But you got to salute it. You've got to, you know, that's Tony Khan, the owner, putting his hands up. I agree with you. That statement does feel a very legally assisted and not necessarily from a personal view.
Yeah.
But at the moment, he can't really speak from the heart. It's got to be legal because you know there's a lawsuit coming.
Yeah.
I mean, if it would be nice if you learned how to speak though in the first place and know how to speak with a microphone in front of him. That would be nice as well.
But it comes to a conversation we were having in the chat. Just Joseph, was it? Remember, I posted the picture, the question at the All Scrum about the Chicago Bears and the Jaguars moving to Chicago. You notice that when that's Tony's tale when he's talking wrestling or he's talking like from the heart. You know, when he was talking when he was talking about that scenario, you know, it was like first it was like what was it? What the F's going on? What did you just ask? You know?
Yeah.
You could tell a change in his demeanor for sure.
Yeah. And you can see the passion and see the difference in how he speaks, you know, when he's talking about something. Not to say he's not passionate about the wrestling, but I think I think he's trying to keep everything in sort of check the way the press conference has sort of been laid out to him and advised, you know. And
you guys ever notice that Tony Khan doesn't really blink that much?
No.
It's just like
Tonight on AEW Dynamite, it's going to be such a great show. He looks like he's high all the time.
It's like he's afraid if he blinks, he's going to miss something on the teleprompter or something.
But Haney is right. If you look at his social media and you look at the frequency in which he's talking about the Jaguars, Fulham, and AEW, AEW is 3/4 of what he tweets, what he posts on Instagram, and every now and then he'll post about Fulham and post how Jags do it, but it's solely on and I get AEW runs year round, every single week, but that's his baby. That's evident. That's clear to see.
I will say something though, like the fact that he went out there before Collision and just took it from the fans shows a lot to me. But and also at the same time, like I watched the video, like by the end of it, they were all cheering him.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't booing him.
JP, let's move this along here. We spent enough time on this.
All right, Mr. Haney, King Haney, it was an honor to have you.
All hail King Haney!
Haney!
Yay.
We'll see you, brother. I'm going to add in my 2 cents really quickly, and that's this. I think the next time we see CM Punk wrestle, it's going to be behind a bar in Tijuana. Just saying, 20, 30 people.
Or it could be we don't even know it's him and he's wearing a mask like he did while he was on a sabbatical.
That would be fun.
Oh, God. All right, so Bryan Danielson on Collision announced that he has got about a year left in him before he finally sets off on the dusty trail, spend time with his wife and his daughter Birdie. So does he stay in AEW as a producer? And if you could have him wrestle any 2 wrestlers in the year that he takes, who would they be? Because it's his swan song. You want him to have Luke Anthony Walsh go first, my friend.
Yes, and Will Ospreay in Wembley. Me done. Thank you.
Okay. Call the grab.
So I think he's going to stick around because I saw a report from like Sports Illustrated that said like he has a year left as a full-time.
Yeah.
But then he's going to be treated as a special attraction like The Undertaker. Maybe.
Yeah, well, he did say wind down when
Yeah.
his daughter's turned.
So,
yeah.
I think so. Matches that I want to see, like I could say Ospreay, but I'll give some other options. I'm not going to report.
It's just Ospreay. Nobody else in the world. He's fighting Zack Sabre Jr. at Wrestle Dream. He's fighting Ospreay.
I want Omega. I want another match with Omega.
Yeah.
And then
No, and then.
I thought he said 2.
Yeah, you can do 2.
Oh, okay, you do 2.
Yeah.
So I saw another idea, and this is kind of a cheat, but I would love for him to get a run in the G1 next year.
He's always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes. That would be so freaking awesome. Canada Dry, your thoughts?
I want to see him a match with the Brooklyn Brawler. I think that, these 2 could put on some.
Stop it. You take that back right now.
Together.
16-minute Iron Man match.
Yes. Thank you, Luke. Thank you for adding to my idea. No. I want one title run out of this.
Yeah.
I want him to beat MJF.
Okay.
And I want him to have a title run.
Okay.
No, that's not a bad idea by Haney. I would love to see Danielson be the head trainer of a development school for AEW.
Yeah. I'll say this. I would love to see Bryan Danielson. We saw him wrestle Okada. We're going to see him wrestle Zack Sabre Jr. We're going to probably...
the Brooklyn Brawler.
The Brooklyn Brawler. We're going to see Ospreay. Well, who I would really want Bryan Danielson to fight is Claudio Castagnoli.
Really?
To me, yes. It's such a dichotomy between Claudio and Danielson. And I know it'll never happen, but in some weird multiverse on Earth 18, Claudio versus Bryan Danielson. That's what I would love to see. But I think roll him out for special occasions, Forbidden Door, All In, the big events. Bring him out there. So we got a fan question. This comes from someone who's close to my heart. Her name is Jessica. I call her the JJB. She wants to know, after that cage match between Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch, where Trish had this huge third eye bulging on her forehead, Do you think she's got some mystical talent? Do you think she can see into the future? Canada Dry, you go first.
What kind of hell question is this? No, she doesn't. But it's Trish Stratus. She's one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
You got to pay respect because Trish Stratus really is the foundation on which women wrestling is built.
Yeah. Mr. Walsh.
That statement always bugs me because as much as Trish was one of the founders and the leaders, is that you look at the quality of her wrestling in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that great. I mean, yes, it started out with TNA and it becoming, she was a model and she was a 6-time champion, fair enough. But, you could make a justified argument that the women's division in the Ruthless Aggression era is similar to what AEW have right now.
Yeah.
In that they only had a handful of women to really legitimately do it with. And it was starting to become bra and panties matches and pillow fights and all that, which, it's so refreshing to see that Trish is having a run where she is getting stuck in now. She is having ladder matches. She's having cage matches. She's taken on, she's basically given us the run that really she should have got a couple of years ago off the back of Evolution.
Yeah.
This is the Trish Stratus we want to be talking about and remembering, not the one that was used to get be barked like a dog by a boss. Yeah.
Golden Graham, your thoughts really quick.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous that she's been out of the ring basically for like 7 years, and she came back and she looked better than ever.
Yeah.
Didn't look like she skipped a beat.
Yeah.
But like along with this, like I feel like it gets lost. Like it always takes two to tango, especially in this business. And I don't feel like Trish gets her flowers, but I don't feel like Lita, who was her counterpart, gets it enough.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Because she slept with Edge.
So I got two more questions. I want to knock them out as quick as possible. My second to last question is this. Tony Khan buys the biggest building in Jacksonville. He opens up the AEW Hall of Fame. You get to select 2 men, 2 women. Who are the first 2 men and the first 2 women that go into the AEW Hall of Fame? Canada Dry, you go first. Yes, OB.
Owen Hart is the first man in the AEW Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
The first woman, that's a little harder.
Yeah.
Maybe Serena Deeb.
Okay. I can dig that. Mr. Walsh, your turn.
Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, Britt Baker.
Whoa, 2. Whoa.
You said 2 of each.
Yeah, said 2 men, 2 women.
Oh, okay. I'll come up with more.
And Hikaru Shida.
Yeah. Okay. Canada Dry, you want to add 2 more?
I'll think of it.
Okay. GM Joe, your turn.
Okay, so for men, I'm not going to say. I'm going to go women first because I'm going to piggyback off. I think as a contributor, I think Martha Hart should be the one to go in because of the Owen Cup.
Yeah.
And I think if she goes in and with her husband, I think that will be a very great moment.
Yeah.
Like as a way to bring it all full circle for the Hart family.
Yeah.
And then the other woman, I don't know. Like, I guess are we talking about like 5 years down the road maybe or what?
Sure.
Then I'd probably go with Britt. Like she's been pushed as the cornerstone and the foundation of the current AEW women's division.
Yeah.
And for men, I think I go Danielson.
Yeah.
And maybe Omega, like the 2 singles guys.
Yeah. Okay. Canada Dry, you want to add?
Yeah, definitely the Bryan Danielson, and then for the women, because she's just so famous for AEW, Saraya.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Last question. This year we had 2 very impressive title runs. We had Orange Cassidy's international title run, 20 or 30 plus straight defenses. And Gunther with the Intercontinental Championship, who now has the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship run of all time in WWE. Who was more impressive? GM Joe, you go first, my friend.
So this isn't to take anything away from Gunther, but I'm going with Orange Cassidy because no one expected this type of run from Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
Now, I said, I have absolutely loved what Gunther has done to bring back the relevancy to the IC title. Like, it feels so important, especially when there was only Roman with the undisputed title. Like, he took that Intercontinental title and made it must see.
Yeah.
But so did Orange Cassidy, in my opinion. He always put on banger match, and no one expected this kind of work from OC, so that's why I'm going with him.
Okay.
I think we should save Luke for last because I think he's got something bangers.
Yeah. I could see it.
I can see it just simmering. I think you save him for last.
Canada Dry, you go first, my friend.
Definitely Orange Cassidy, because just like Golden Grim said, you didn't know this was coming.
Yeah.
It just came out of nowhere, elevated the belt, elevated himself as a star.
Yeah.
And there's just these levels to Orange Cassidy. Like now he could challenge for the world title and it wouldn't be questioned because he's just that big of a star now. So yeah, definitely not to take away. And I don't think Gunther had that many really good opponents.
Yeah.
He had. I don't even know who was he against in WrestleMania? Was it McIntyre and someone else?
Sheamus.
Yeah, so
the best match of that weekend.
Those were his two biggest opponents.
Yeah.
Right, that wasn't the best match of the weekend. It was Snoop Dogg and The Miz.
No, but I'm saying those were his worst opponents.
And Shane blowing his quads like his daddy did.
Yeah.
So
now, before we ask Mr. Walsh, we got to call in. I'm interested to hear what Gran Torino says. Guys, that's Gran Torino!
That's Gran Torino in the house.
What's
up, guys? All right. So, like Joe said, I don't want to take anything away from Walter, but I watched Orange Cassidy when I first started watching AEW. That's when I first knew who he was.
Yeah.
He came on the screen, he had his denim jacket and stuff. And I'm like, who the heck is this guy? And my buddy CJ at the time, he's like, oh, he's just the wrestler who doesn't care, he's just there. He hates working, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, this guy, it's wrestling. They have characters. So I've watched him grow to this person, and change my opinion of him the whole way. And I just feel like I haven't cared about a championship run the way I cared about Orange Cassidy's and, since Chris Benoit, God bless his family. I never cared that much about seeing somebody stay champion. And, not to knock Walter, but, he's been chopping with that right hand since he was in the Indies and he doesn't have any tape on it. So Orange Cassidy put over how hard his reign was, So that's my opinion. Thanks for listening.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by.
Mr. Walsh, it's your turn, my friend. Lay it on us.
I love them both.
What all this for that?
The end. No, so Walter and Gunther. Walter has always been great. Always been great. Progress. You look at NXT UK, and throughout, he's always been the beast, just untouchable, unstoppable, just a worker among all workers. He always pushed himself, and he's had 5-star matches, and he's always delivered. And with Imperium, everything, he's always been at that level.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy has silenced everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Except for
everyone. Even it's a running joke that he opens Dynamite every week.
Yeah.
It's which kind of, it's another Orange Cassidy. Oh, great. And for years, and you look back on his running, nobody took Orange Cassidy seriously.
Yeah.
No. And he just main evented All Out against John Moxley for his belt and got a standing ovation. It's Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
He has, above and beyond, stood among the rest and proven that he is not just freshly squeezed, but he is human. He is not a joke. He is not somebody that has comedy matches, but comedy spots. He is legit.
Yeah.
It's Orange Cassidy.
Absolutely. Listen, I say Orange Cassidy as well, and for all the same reasons. But I want to give a shout out to Walter / Gunther.
Absolutely.
Because the IC title for probably the last 15 years was such a shitty title for WWE. It was second, it was third, it was bottom tier. And that man brought prestige because that was always the belt of the worker. Guys like Bret Hart, guys like the Honky Tonk Man, guys like Shawn Michaels,
The
Razor
Macho
Ramon.
Man or Andy Savage.
Macho Man.
Oh,
yeah.
It was good. It was good to see a real legit wrestler have that belt again and give it meaning and give it love and give it to a level that it takes someone special to have that belt. And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, so that being said,
yes,
he's going to lose that belt.
Yes.
In
And then he's going
about
to beat
a
Roman.
month.
Yeah.
And then he's going to beat Roman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think he's going to beat Roman?
I think so.
He's going to kill Roman.
Yeah.
That would require Roman to come to work.
That requires Roman to punch a clock, and we know that ain't happening anytime soon. All right, gentlemen, everyone who joined, we are at the end of our show, which means, of course, we got to give our flowers. We got to give our respect to the people who come and watch us and come and see us and come and listen to us. And you have to ask yourself, well, you know what? But before we even get to that, the Roundtable was brought to you by the Kill City Cup. Now, I can go ahead and try to talk about the Kill City Cup and try to describe what in the hell is the Kill City Cup.
Besides that,
yeah,
we're looking to have them on the show next week.
That's right. We are going to have the Kill City Cup guys. We're going to try to get them on there. We're going to try to coax them in because they got another one coming. But here is, my friends, the Kill City Cup.
Hello.
Welcome to the Kill City Cup.
Guys, listen, they support us. You need to support them. The link is right below. And speaking of links, how do you support the show? It's simple. We have a tier system on YouTube. $5, $10, $15, $20. That will allow you to help us get guys like Brian Cage and Markova, because these people don't work for free. They don't come on our podcast just to shoot the shit with us. No.
Sorry, we don't work for free.
No, the important people don't work for free.
Yeah. So give to us. Now, if you want to give us a one-time donation or a monthly donation a little bit bigger than the tiers, then all you need to do is go link below the email address, Big Shiny Matrix on PayPal. Send us some money. I promise you, we're going to get people like maybe, I don't know, just professional wrestlers, managers, promoters, historians. You are our fans, and we want to give you the best that we can. Now, you want to tell the world about effing wrestling? Then the easiest way to do it, my friends, is to do it this way. It's to go out and get a shirt. A shirt like, say, Natalia Markova. The middle finger shirt. our newest shirt, the Sharpshooter shirt. Oh my God, now with Sharpshooter action. It's so freaking awesome. You go to ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling.
Do you own a pink shirt, JP?
I have the Acclaimed, but I will be getting this
Yes,
shirt.
you gotta. This will be my first pink shirt I've ever owned.
I am getting this shirt.
Except for when I was a child, I had a dress shirt.
Yeah. And it's going to go into my rotation.
Yeah.
I'm talking about every week. I'm going to have that pink shirt. You know I'm going to have that pink shirt.
That and the Ghostbusters one. I gotta have that Ghostbusters.
The Ghostbusters one is really good too. But we have a multitude of shirts. ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling. Now, if you like old school wrestling, and I know that you do, and you want to support the guys who came before the stars of today and give them their flowers, then the best way to do it. Speaking of flowers, he had a show called The Flower Shop. Adrian Adonis. That's right. You can go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Adrian Adonis, where you can get all your Adrian Adonis gear. I don't know what happened to Luke Anthony Walsh, but on behalf of Luke, on behalf of Canada Dry, on behalf of GM Joe, I am the JFB.
You know what, JP? Why don't you give the Just Keep Fighting speech?
I would love that. You know, we all go through tough times. My mom is personally battling Parkinson's disease. It's ravaging her body. I've been really sad. I've been really down. And so is my mom. And so yesterday I went to go visit her. And I told her, Ma, you need to just keep going. Keep fighting. Just keep fighting. Because we want you around. We need you around. That's what I got to tell all of you. No matter what life throws at you, no matter who gets sick, who gets hurt, who may pass, who may live, it doesn't matter. You come and talk to me, talk to Canada Dry, talk to GM Joe, talk to anybody in effing wrestling. We are here for you because you got to just keep fighting. Hit it.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at ProWrestlingTees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.